It's again a great pleasure to be here in Islamabad and to be in front of you. It's like second home to me in my recent days, recent career. My dear brothers and sisters, I would normally start talking about a short tour of all the great developments in technology that makes me to start my day every day at 5:30 a.m. for the last 33 years. Make no mistake, I will get there. But first, allow me to address you as your brother, as a son of another large Muslim country, Turkey, which I know has a special place in your hearts. I am sure that over the past month, each one of you have spent many hours checking the news on your phones, glued to Tamasha TV in your homes, trying to make sense of recent political developments in your country. I am sure many of you have had concerns or questions whether this conference would go ahead. Yet today we are all here, coming together to discuss the future of this beautiful country, despite the questions some might have about its present status. Trust me, I have been there before many times in my home country, where the social fabric was stretched in previously unthinkable ways. My 2 cents, what keeps us together as nations in these difficult days, is the ability to imagine a better future together. So do not give up on the power to imagine and imagining together. This is exactly what we are doing today. I am grateful to be part of this exercise with you, and I would like to thank my dear friend, Asfar Hassan, for inviting me and the Nutshell Group for organizing this event. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, what is the biggest story in technology today? What is the big idea, the big rethink that will make the future of humanity brighter? Electric cars, a morally responsible social media app, generative AI. I think the previous speaker gave some amazing food for thought for all of us. There will be many answers, and almost any answer you might have will lead to the same issue: the power of digitalization and the fact that Pakistan is a data-producing country. Allow me to share some numbers with you. What is the secret recipe for creating prosperity, eradicating poverty? Increasing the productivity. If you increase productivity 1% every year, it's going to take you 70 years to double the prosperity and richness of individuals in your country. If you increase productivity by 3% every single year, it's going to take you 28 years. 5% brings it down to 14 every generation. Frankly speaking, there has been disruptive technologies in the last 100 years where these percentages of growth were challenged by magnitudes of step functions: steam engine, electricity, internet. And I agree with the previous speaker that what happened in December 22 with the launch of generative AI, we will be facing another opportunity of increasing productivity by magnitudes of today's facts. Please keep this in mind as you rethink about your future, because each one of you are the changes of agents, and we are here to create prosperity for our people. According to United Nations, 2.9 billion people in the world, in other words, 37% of the global population, have no access to internet. If data is the new oil, and the value and prosperity will be created through processing that data, this is an embarrassment. And it is not only about the lack of coverage. most people actually in the world, much larger numbers, have coverage and access to internet. But it is lack of usage. It is lack of means to access the internet. It is the prohibitive costs of smartphones and devices. And it is prohibitive costs of accessing the technology. In other words, we are putting people behind. In an era where actually productivity will be driven by creating data, processing data, creating services that will drive the future productivity levels of the industry. If 5 years from today, we are not able to put an augmented intelligence next to every single person within companies, for the industries, we will be missing a huge opportunity. You may not be familiar with the company name VEON, but I am sure when I tell you that we touch 1 out of 2 people in Pakistan through our brands like Jazz or Jazz Cash or Mobilink Bank or Tamasha, you understand what we can do for progressing this idea further. We need to work together to accelerate the digitalization of Pakistan and to reduce the usage gap. We are not doing well on that front. Pakistan is one of the countries where accessing internet is taxed in a disproportionate way. Having access to smartphones or other smart devices also is facing significant taxes. And I know this is coming from somebody who couldn't drink coffee because coffee was too expensive to import. Human minds and human beings are very versatile. You find ways of roasting chickpeas and drinking coffee instead. We passed those days in Turkey as well. I am sure you will do very well and thrive if you can work together. But let's not forget the fact that the 250 million people today in Pakistan, 400 million people in the next couple of decades, it is our chance to make sure that every single one has an augmented mind that will work for the future and the richness of this country. I want to mention a couple of things which are dear to my heart, and I'm sure it is dear to some of my colleagues here. Amir Ibrahim runs and oversees all of our operations in Pakistan. He will be on the panels later on, from telecoms business to entertainment business to financial services. Gazanfer here, who is proud to process 6% of Pakistan GDP through Jazz Cash and Mobilink Bank. I'm really happy to see them to be here participating in this rethinking. But I think it's important for us to define and have a roadmap for every single industry, from telecoms as well, but not limited to that. Digital financial services is the only way to bring financial services to the underserved populations in Pakistan. We need to not only bring entertainment, but focus on education and make sure that every single person, I heard today 35 million people not having access to the schools, little children, our future, has the ability to interact with the generative technologies. I don't call it artificial intelligence, it's augmented intelligence. Let's realize the fact. It's going to be part of our lives. The ones who have access will have a chance to survive and thrive. The ones who don't have an access will just become replaceable. And we are in that fight all together. That's why I would like to see, Amir, yourself putting #1 priority to make sure that Urdu language becomes a leader and pioneer in embracing the generative technologies for this country, and making sure that the farmers in Pakistan do have access to that augmented capability. Teachers in Pakistan have the same capabilities to teach the kids, and every single person becomes much more capable by embracing these technologies. Don't be afraid of artificial or augmented intelligence. Organic stupidity is what causes the biggest pain in this world. Let me also share a couple of thoughts. I told you, Pakistan is a data-creating country. Please make sure that data sovereignty will be on the high agenda items of whoever will be the future leaders of the country to manage. Pakistan's data has to stay in Pakistan. Pakistan's engineers need to process that data to convert it into digital services, generative technologies that will create the next wave of wealth in this country. That's what we are trying to do with investing in data centers. That's what we are trying to do, investing in software engineers, making sure that we keep our customers' data in Pakistan. We create jobs for engineers. We pay taxes in the country. Please make sure that you stop looting of your data by people who have no stake in the game. We have to build a broader digital ecosystem. And we are committed, not half-heartedly, fully being a Pakistani data contributor. So please allow me also a couple of words on the importance of 4G for all, not 5G for few. Less than 3% of mobile phones you have today have the ability to serve 5G. Let's forget about this vanity. Let's make sure that every single Pakistani has access to mobile internet and does not use it to play Candy Crush. Use it to drive its personal development, corporate development, productivity. And let's make sure that we as leaders make everything possible that we pioneer the next wave. Next wave will not involve, large production facilities. It's going to be all about utilizing the available technologies to drive higher quality of life for our people. I want to thank you all for listening to me today, and I hope this conference will be very productive and will bring you together to fight for your future. Thank you very much.